The apocalypse retail tsunami closures. What's happening? Well, it's happening, and as cities keep taxing their private sector entities and businesses more and more, and at the state level, at the federal level, and you're just getting layered and layered. In Canada, it's at the provincial level, it's at the federal level, these multiple layers of taxation that's being implemented on our little private sector, little businesses, whether you're a small private sector, small business, mom and pops like me, or you are in the corporate structure, working up the corporate ladder, and then to be told that your position will be terminated, unfortunately. Here's a watch or a turkey or something. But that's what's happening right now. And I believe it has to do with the government working hard towards federalizing everything. I've been talking about the federalization of, taking over big box stores eventually. Federalize them in a way where you'd walk in and everything will be white and be red writing everywhere. The government loves you. You'll hear a speaker saying, the government is here for you. Buy government-made products because we are here to save you. And all the boxes and all the items will be in bright white, and everything would have red writing on it. It would say vinegar, salt. Trust government-made products. I have a feeling, I think what I'm seeing happening is going to be a lot further down the road. I'm talking about maybe 30 to 50 years if we keep on this trajectory. So by 2080, I think we'll be at that level where people will put all their trust and all the trust they have and faith into the government because the government's going to save them. But if anything, it's the government that's taking it away from them, right? So let's take a look at what's happening here. A pile of closures here. So let's go over this. I was just going through the list right here. We got a lot of closures, more than 800 stores closing across the United States in 2023. Here's the full list. And does this sound like you've heard it before? Yeah, it's going around. There it is. Multiple big box closures. But remember this? We were talking about this. Nearly 3,000 stores are closing in 2021. Retail apocalypse drags on. So if it sounds familiar, it's been going on. But here it is. We're finding remnants on our channel. Mike of the Night, big retail closures, private sector under tax attack. They want to federalize everything. So I was already back in the day. Look at this. More than 5,800 stores will close in 2019 before the you-know-what. The cost of doing private business is getting expensive. Retail apocalypse closures. So there it is right there. Look at the date. Before, what? A lot has been under attack via taxation, via federalization, via pre-mandates of, no, we're going to further investigate you further in your taxes. It gets really dark and murky once you start getting into, like, I have a small corporation with a small payroll, with a small everything, and it gets pretty dark of what governments ask you to do or what they want you to submit and it gets pretty weird at times, and getting random calls in the morning and saying your taxes are behind. Well, no, they're not behind. They're due in a few more months, and it's constant. It's constant, and this is what's disenfranchising big box stores, and what's destroying the fabric of small businesses, right? So, and the whole thing about 2020, the thing, just sped it up and shut down and shuttered small family businesses right across the board, so governments could get a more federal foothold in certain areas and take full control. So there it is right there. We've been talking about it. So there it is. Now Walmart closing stores. Oh, this one's not even loading. Oh, wow. I guess USA Today doesn't want to allow me to read their article. Here it is. Walmart will close a handful of stores in these 6 states and DC this year. See the list. So there's more and more Walmarts closing down. A lot of people are blaming theft. So there it is. There's the different states right there. Florida, Illinois, New Mexico, Oregon, Wisconsin. It just keeps going on and on. And Portland, Texas, and Portland, Oregon. Politicians take to Twitter to argue over why Walmarts are closing stores. Be a huge amount of theft, because I know the ones that close in Oregon, you could walk in there and just grab whatever you want and walk out, and no one's going to stop you because they don't have a catch and grab or catch and grab and charge and call the police to press charges. I don't know what's happening in that state, but I've heard from people on the ground from Portland in Oregon telling me that basically that's what the deal is. They just can't keep up with the theft. The theft is putting them out of business, right? And we did a Home Depot one about this. So we covered this before the you know what, and shoplifters, Home Depot getting ripped off. Organized criminals fueled by opioid epidemic stealing millions of dollars worth of goods from retailers and storing them in warehouses. And so there it is right there. Something we've been very vocal about, because there's theft via government through taxation, and then there's theft via vandals and criminals that should be in jail because you're paying taxes to incarcerate criminals, but they're free and open free roam prisons outside that they just don't, they're not part of, they're not incarcerated. So that's what's happening, and your taxes are supposed to be paying for that. And that's why a lot of corporations and a lot of people just don't want to pay tax, because it's taxation without representation, right? If that's how it goes. And Walmart's shuttering stores in Canada, 6 stores in Canada, but apparently, according to them, they're going to spend $500 million to upgrade more than half of its remaining locations in a bid to improve the look and feel of its stores. So they're going to close 6 stores, but they're going to upgrade all the other locations that are still in operation, according to this. And I want to throw this in there in today's video. Centrelink payments to increase by $1.77 a day, grossly inadequate. So there it is. This is coming out of Australia. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, more than 4.7 million Aussies will receive an increase to their Centrelink payments as a part of routine, but some groups have slammed the increase as woeful inadequate. So there it is right there. And Centrelink and payments going to pension and stuff, and getting payments added towards their Medicare. And $1.77 a day adds up, folks. And that's not good. This is not good. And this is what happened, I think, in Brazil. Something happened like this in Brazil, where something was being cut, or they raised the transit in Brazil down in Portuguese America, where they raised, I think it was 25 cents or 30 cents. They raised the price of their public transit, and that caused a huge uproar. So Centrelink payments to increase $1.77 a day. And Silicon Valley Bank shares halted after plunge deep end. So that's what's happening here. And crypto-focused bank Silvergate plans to wind down following a blow from FTX. These guys with you guys, but it's something we've been very vocal about. I'm seeing the angle more. A lot of people don't agree with me on this, that it's more of a federalization. Yeah, the corporations want to get bigger. They want the mergers. They want the acquisitions. They want to just be big, the biggest bully on the block. But the problem is I'm thinking the governments are letting them do this. So when it's a federalized or a government takeover, it's so much more easier to take over one big guy than it is to take over 50 smaller guys or medium guys, if that makes any sense. But that's what I'm seeing. The federalization, they federalized pretty much all our transportation. If you want to have an Uber in Canada, I think you have to go through all these hoops just to get an Uber, to allow you to drive an Uber, to a car to drive and pick people up. There's so much mandates and so much layers of government that you need to go through to do anything in this country. We have one car insurance company where I am here in British Columbia, and we can't negotiate anything or get a better deal or even ask for, can't. So this is what's happening. And I think they're just going to go after the big fish when it's ready. And you're going to see those stores all in white with the white signage and red letters. The government loves you. We are here for you. With the calm music in the background. Don't forget, your government is here for you. And everything's going to be in red writing and all in white packaging. Just give it time. What I'm saying, again, it might be 80, 90 years down the road, but I feel it coming. I feel that's what the end game is. I could be dead wrong about this. I look forward to reading your comments on this. Let me know what you guys think. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.